Hey everyone, and welcome to today's live stream on the ENFP and the INFJ relationship pairing. I hope you're all having a good Saturday wherever you are in the world and whatever day it is, wherever you are. And I'm happy to talk about this subject today. And I'm gonna tell you a few first. First, I'm gonna tell you a few interesting things about just these two types in comparison, in contrast with one another. I'm just gonna say to start off. ENFPs, they are the adapters, and INFJs, they are the guides. So what tends to happen when INFJs are around? Well, INFJs tend to provide guidance to other people. ENFPs, they tend to adapt and help us adapt ideas and help us understand things, help us put things to practice, help us make things happen. So what happens when you're with an ENFP? Well, things tend to start happening around you. So that includes plans for the future, that includes places to go to, things to visit, things to do. It's just ideas and the possibilities that you can explore together, things that you can go and do, and things that matter to you, things that mean something to you. So when you're with an ENFP as an INFJ, what tends to happen is often, because as an INFJ, often you're changing a lot, and sure, there's a lot of intuition rolling around in you and there's lots of feelings circulating inside of you, but often it all tends to happen on the inside. So as an INFJ all alone, what you tend to feel is, well, I'm changing a lot, but what's changing is mainly that I'm getting visions, I'm getting ideas, I'm getting theories, and then around me nothing happens. When you look at and observe an INFJ, it can be as if nothing is ever happening in that person's life. The INFJ never changes. They're always the same. They're always going through the same things. They're just going about their day-to-day routine. It looks like they can appear almost as sensors just from a surface picture. So it's only when you start talking with the INFJ that you notice that, there's more going on here. There's lots of things happening on the inside, and there's lots of processing, lots of thinking, lots of speculation. And the ENFP has a great ability to engage in and utilize that. And often what I tend to say is what we have and what we give to each other is kind of like firewood. We're like giving each other's different things, and that tends to get us spinning. It tends to start you spinning. It tends to get your mind rolling. It tends to make things change in your life. Often this pairing is what gets you started on a pathway to change and to learning and growth. So I tend to call this a growth relationship. It's not the only kind of relationship. It's not the only good kind of pairing, but it is a good pairing when you're looking for a growth. And why is this growth? Well, because when you're with an ENFP, what you tend to maximize in your life, that's intuition and feeling. So what you're getting is you're getting a stronger concept of the future. You're getting more in touch with your values. You're learning more about who you are. You're learning more about yourself. You're thinking more about who you are. You're thinking more about and getting to know other people better. And you're starting to develop that social framework, that emotional framework. You're starting to get to know your emotions better. You start to understand your life better. That's what happens when you're with an NF. And it's especially what happens when you're with an ENFP, because where you meet in the relationship is in the world of intuition, in the world of feeling. The approach that INFJs have often starts in the inside, in just formulating a theory, formulating a vision, or just getting some kind of idea in your head, speculating about something, thinking about or considering some kind of plan or where you're going or where you're headed. Not in the practical terms of planning, not in making lists, not in making documents, just in that form of visualization and simulation. You're running simulations on things. So what I tend to say is INFJs, we tend to be idealists when it comes mainly to how we are going to do something. So we are idealists mainly in this inner world and mainly in this world of execution and in how we execute something and how we make something happen. INFJs can be highly practical when it comes to looking at the world around us. We can see the world as something more or less set in stone. We can look at things in a very practical approach. We can think about things that are happening around us in a very realistic sense. But when it comes to what we want to do and how we want to get there, that's often very idealistic. When you're looking for grand ideas and like grand projects and future plans and like this kind of idea of utopia, then you're coming to an INFJ. When you're looking at want somebody who can look at the world with fresh eyes, with intuition, with ideas, with some kind of sixth sense, you're looking at the ENFP personality type. The ENFP's sixth sense, basically what it means is, well, they are amazing deducers. They can read a lot of patterns around them. They can understand clues. They can see hidden opportunities. They can understand what's hidden behind the box. They can read between the lines. They can see things that are happening around the world, and they can understand how the world is changing and how it is transforming. So what you're getting at is the ENFP sees the world like an idealist. It sees the best in people. It sees what people could become. It sees what people have the potential to be. It sees and understands that, yeah, this person could achieve so much. This person can do so much. This person could make this happen. That's how the ENFP, when in a healthy state of flow, looks at the world. So the ENFP can look at the INFJ and they can see like, oh, there's lots of great potential there, and like this could happen. This could be a case. This could come to be. And you know what the ENFP is always struggling with in this is just they see that people are capable of so many things, but they can become frustrated with the lack of change and with when people are wasting their potential or not living up to what you see that they could be, when they are not living to those higher ideals that you see, that higher code of ethics, that higher intuitive potential that you see within them. So as an ENFP, it's always like wanting to realize something, wanting to make something happen, and feeling frustrated when it's not happening. So what you're getting at is there's always going to be a tug of war in a sense of getting these things to happen, making them happen, adopting the idea, adopting the intuition, and putting it to practice. Okay, if that's how you see the world, so what you're going to do, how are you going to make it happen, what you're going to make about it, how are you going to see it. So it's a desire to make that intuition, make that feeling, make that inner idealism of the INFJ become manifested in the world around you and in your concrete day-to-day lifestyle, in your relationships, and in your overall situation in life. You know, when you're understanding all of this, first you got to ask yourself, why would an INFJ be interested in an ENFP, or why would an ENFP be interested in an INFJ? And I'm going to say it's not always for everyone. What I feel is there are a few things that you need to be open to this pairing, and not all personality types, not all INFJs are going to be open to it, and not all ENFPs are going to be open to it. And this all has to do with what you're dealing with. What I said with the INFJ ENFP pairing is it's all about growth. It's about learning. It's about maximizing your perception, becoming more observant. It's about living more in tune with your values. It's about understanding your values better. It's about maximizing your intuition and your feeling. When you're looking for more something like stability, you can be more interested in other personality pairings. And stability in the sense of wanting somebody that is similar to you. That's another common thing. Some people go for people of the same personality type. Some people go to an opposite, and some people go to a mirror. And when you go for the similar type, or a person of the same type as yourself, usually it has to do with getting to know yourself. The main reason we can be attracted to people of the same type is just to get to know yourself. It's mainly like learning to accept who you are, learning to understand yourself, learning to understand what's unique about you, what's different about you, what's special about you, all those things. And it's also about overcoming the things that you dislike in yourself. And it's always going to come down to that. What do you dislike about yourself? Well, that's always going to be projected on the other person of the same type. So that's always going to be your main struggle. And then you're always going to be meeting on what you love about yourself and what you love about yourself in each other. So that's what you're getting from the same type. When you're looking for stability, that's when you go for the opposite. We go for the opposite because we need stability in the sense of needing somebody that can protect us from the things that we struggle with. When we focus on our weaknesses and when we want to develop ourselves, we are very much attracted to our opposites. We're attracted to our opposites because we feel ourselves, we notice that we are and struggle with maintaining a routine, perhaps for the ENFP, or dealing with reality as an INFJ. And then the opposite, like the ESTP or the ISTJ, can offer a sense of help in managing this. They can protect us from it because they can absorb some of it from us and deal with it and take care of it. And they can also help us get through it and show us it's possible. But with the INFJ and the ENFP pairing, it's all about that process of maximizing your ideals, reaching your ideals, reaching what's important for you, and learning more about it. And it requires like one main thing, and that is stepping outside of your comfort zone. And that sometimes for the ENFP, that means being a little more patient than what they normally want to be, and letting an idea happen and letting something take time and letting something allowing yourself to speculate about something or to take time to see where it's going to lead or what's going to happen. And for the INFJ, of course, it means letting things go a little faster than planned and letting things go a little more, taking a little more risks, and stepping into situations that you have not always prepared for. And the key to success within this pairing is really just accepting who you are and understanding yourself in it. So what can I do that is special? How can I be of help? What can I do to show love and appreciation and support when the other person needs it? What is my superpower? If every personality type has a superpower, what is my superpower? What can I do? And then you're just really looking into yourself and you're trying to overcome like those insecurities that can really make any relationship difficult. And insecurity can get in the way of any relationship. Like anything you feel bad about in yourself can become something that you hide from. And the most important thing to success in an INFJ and an ENFP relationship, that's vulnerability. And that is for an INFJ, really stepping out of yourself and thinking about the other person's perspective. And it is entertaining a what if. It is allowing yourself to make changes in the moment when necessary or when something new comes up. It is allowing yourself to try something new and to go to a new place or to be open to a new possibility. It is considering the other person's situation and their feelings. And all of that comes from the extroverted intuition, from extroverted feeling, from feeling perceiving, and from intuition and perceiving. For an ENFP, the main thing is stepping into the introverted intuitive, the feeling judging, the intuitive judging, and the introverted feeling approach. And that is just taking time to understand why somebody did something, or taking time to understand why they did what they did, or for what reason, or what made them do what they did, and just understanding the other person's perspective and viewpoint and experience, and understanding what they intended for. Like even if they didn't do exactly what they should have, what were their intentions, what was their reason, what was their purpose, what was their motive. And it's digging into and believing and having trust and faith in a vision or in a long-term goal, even if it sounds abstract or even if it sounds vague, understanding that it can lead somewhere important and it can lead to somewhere good. And it is in feeling and judging, well, taking a time to help out and to show care and support, and to be there for the other person when they need it, and to, what should you say, keep building on the relationship and keep working on getting to know each other's better and getting to know the other person better and understanding more about them and who they are and what kind of people they are. And of course, it's an introverted intuition, and that is just maintaining perspective and being open to other viewpoints and other perspectives and other experiences and other ways to understand something. I think the difference between the INFJ and INFP relationship compared with the INFJ and ENFP relationship is INFPs and INFJs have a bad habit of keeping each other's in their comfort zone. You keep each other's in a comfort zone. You're always listening to and understanding, and there's a good balance between feeling and judging and feeling perceiving. Like these two functions, they mesh incredibly well, because feeling and judging types, they are often great at communication. Feeling perceiving types are often great listeners. So that's always something where you're going to meet very well. And the same goes for the introverted intuition. And but there is a problem, and that is a problem that is with all types that share some similar cognitive functions. And that is, you reinforce each other's bad habits and blind spots. And while the relationship can maintain some kind of comfort, or it can also keep itself from growing. So there's not going to be a lot of new opportunities here. There's going to be a lot of thinking about opportunities, but there's not going to be a lot of opportunities. There's not going to be a lot happening. And there is a chance here that, well, it can become boring at some point, or it can become too much. And just like we can feel like we ourselves are too much sometimes, like, oh, I need to get out of my head now, I need to like really make something happen. The same goes when you're with a similar type. It's like being too much in your own head with another person. But there is also a very relaxing thing about the INFJ INFP relationship, and that is like, that is usually, an INFP is usually a person that I can feel very understood by. And it's a person that can help me feel like I'm healing in a sense. Yeah, I tend to see INFP and INFJ pairings as healing pairings. I tend to say, like, when you're struggling with something or when you've been through something difficult, seek out an INFP, because they can help you and you can help them. And I feel like with an ENFP, when you're seeking out an ENFP, you're seeking out a muse, and that's somebody that can help you in your creative projects and in your ideals and in your dreams and in realizing your dreams, because you're gonna want that. And that's it. Like, we have our personality type, and that's just who we are when we are in balance, and everything is it's normal, and we're in our normal flow, and we're doing what we're usually doing and what things that we like to do in a general day to day. But when we're and when we meet the muse, we are challenged to go outside of that. And we are there for inviting change. And what I feel like is, what you're trying to do in this pairing is you're trying to kind of prove your worth in a way. Prove your individual worth as who you are over and over to yourself. With this pairing, you're kind of in the process of trusting your normal approach and showing the other person that you can do something, and in being vulnerable with the other person, you're constantly being rewarded with inspiration. Inspiration is the experience you have for the most when you're with an ENFP. Or like, I'm always in a state of inspiration when I'm with my ENFP. I'm always in a state of, oh, I could do that, or oh, I could try this out, or oh, I could go visit that place. Whenever I'm talking with, and whenever I'm listening to her, and whenever I'm being vulnerable with her and sharing with her, inspiration is the core feeling that I'm feeling. It's always like we are like getting really excited about something we could do, or some place we could go to, or something we could try out. And that's like an infinite stream. It can go as far as you want it to. It can give you a really interesting life, a really great life, really exciting life, with a lot of sure changes and a lot of uncertainties sometimes, and all the problems intuition has, being vague, being broad, not knowing where it's going, being abstract, with all the problems feeling as being the emotions, the intentions, the values, the lack of attention to the rules and to the system, and to the lack of pragmatism. All those things, of course, they're there. But I tend to believe, and I've always kind of believed, that we are happier when we learn to address the issues of life by being who we are, than by forcing ourselves to be something else. We are happier when we can be ourselves than when we have to be someone else. It's as simple as that. And if there's anyone who lets you be yourself as much as an ENFP, well, there's an ENFP. Only ENFP is really just invite you to be yourself, invite me to be myself, because they don't get away in the way of my approach or my process or how I think. They just naturally support it. I share my thoughts, they share their thoughts, and it never collides. We're never trying to fight over the same spot, or over the same thing, or the same perspective. We're just trying to come at something from different angles. There's always the different angle. Whenever I share something, there's always a different angle. And that's what keeps the conversation from running dry or becoming stagnant, or just two sides pushing against each other. It's more like things are changing. And it's funny, somebody said my hand gestures look like a reminder of the Illuminati. Is it a conspiracy? I don't know. Hi, Amber. We are live. You do need a roadmap, Susan. That's very true. I love maps. I love looking at maps. It's actually become kind of my hobby. When I'm always looking at maps, I'm always like scrolling and, oh, there's that place. No, there's that place. And I'm always looking at maps all the time now. It's become it really triggers my dreams. And I want to end on one topic, and that is when you want to be yourself, you have to facilitate an environment that will support who you are. I tend to say ENFPs need a bounce space, so a place where they can throw out ideas and get ideas back, a place where they can throw something out and see where it leads, a place where there are things to explore, a place where emotions matter and are important, and where people listen to you and take your emotions and feelings seriously, and places where there are people that have stories they want to share with you, and people that have experiences to deal with and to talk about with you. So I think an INFJ is a good example of that, but I think you can find that in a lot of different people. And I think you can find that also in your environment and in your home. And you should be looking for that also in your home, and in the movies you watch, and in the experiences you go out and have, and in the places and environments and the cafes you visit. You're going to want to have that. Facilitate inspiration by inviting and encouraging and talking with people of different personality types than yourself, and by going to new places and places that you feel you are supported in. Thank you all for watching today's video. Yeah, remember, relationships are always like about what you need and what you want and to be happy. I'm going to share the link to my Patreon page if anybody wants to leave a donation, and I'm going to share the link to my website where you can read about the INFJ and about the ENFP. But of course, I think you should all visit our community on Discord. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm going to say to Prince's question, why am I attracted to depressive girls as an INFP? Well, yeah, what Skynam says is correct. You can find that attractive because it feels good to help other people or to help them deal with their emotional struggles. And that's it. Like other people give us chances to be ourselves. Some people give us a chance to be ourselves, and some people don't really give us a chance to be ourselves. But then even when that happens, we should be ourselves no matter what. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and I hope to see you all in my next video / live stream.